Hi everyone, it's Darla from Crafty Yarn Owl. Welcome. Today we're going to make this hat. Or maybe you'd rather wear it like this. Now this hat will fit a 19 to 22 inch head. It's made in the flat, so you can make it, if you make it wider, it's going to fit a bigger head. I give you the measurements and the number of rows I did in the tutorial. For this tutorial, you'll need about 150 grams of a medium 4-weight yarn in two colors. I have white and red here. What I used was the Craft Smart Value yarn. It's 100% acrylic. Bright red is the red one, and the white one is white. And you will need scissors, a darning needle, some stitch markers. I used a 6mm hook. You'll need a tape measure. You'll need a pom-pom. I do have a tutorial on how to use a pom-pom maker, and I'll list it above here. And also a bell. I got these from Dollar Tree in the Christmas department. You may need some snaps if you happen to have some little, just little tiny snaps at home, several of them, maybe 6. I did not use snaps, but I used a different method to put the, the topper on my hat. You might need wire cutters. You might need pliers. You'll need some tape. I have this electrical tape, but you could probably use masking tape or Scotch tape. And you'll need some straight pins. And you'll need a little bit of stuffing. You'll also need an 18-inch wire. This is, I got this at a thrift store, cloth wrapped wire. It's 16 gauge. I'm sure Michael's must have something similar. We're going to start off with a magic ring. Now you can use probably the chain 3 method. We're just going to be putting 6 single crochets into this ring. Okay, that chain 1 I just did does not count as a stitch. So go back in, make a single crochet. I want to mark this first one so I don't accidentally slip stitch into that chain 1 we did. All right, so that is number 1. 6 single crochets into this ring. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I'm going to pull my tail a little bit here just to cinch it in a little bit. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to pull it tight now. And we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet we made. And that closes off round 1. Okay, then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet into each of these single crochets. So mark my first one. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6, and then slip stitch into your first single crochet. And we're going to make 4 rows, and then we're going to stop and show you what to do. Okay, so that was the second row. So make 2 more, and I'll be right back. I've made 4 rows of single crochets, 6 single crochets in each row, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now what we're going to do at this point is we're going to stuff it. We're going to stuff it. I'm going to cut that tail off. Just take a little bit of stuffing. Just going to put my stitch marker in there so I don't pull that stitch out. All right, right into that hole, we're just going to put a little bit of stuffing. We're just going to stuff it right down to the very bottom. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to continue making the 6 single crochet rounds, and I will come back and tell you how many I made. I've crocheted 30 rows of single crochets. This measures approximately 9 inches or 23 centimeters long. I'm now going to take my wire and I'm going to bend it just over on the end here. Maybe take my pliers and squish it down more. There we go. I'm going to wrap a piece of electrical tape around it. If you have masking tape or Scotch tape, you could probably use that. I just want to make sure that pointy raw edge of the wire isn't going to stick through the crochet. There's my scissors. We're going to take our wire and we're going to push it all the way to the end till it hits our stuffing at the end. We're now going to bend our wire into a circle. So first of all, just going to bend it. Bend it like that. If you have pliers, that might help. Okay, I'll let you know how big my circle is when I'm finished. Okay, about like that. So the measurement of this is almost 1.5 inches across. Okay, so I'm going to bend this a little bit more. And then I'm going to cut it. You can bend it all the way and then tape it. Just don't want it to be pointing out and going through the yarn because we're going to crochet over top of this circle. Okay, now I'm going to pull the wire out again, and I'm going to crochet a row of 2 single crochets in each stitch for a total of 12 single crochets. Right, 2 in each stitch. You'll have 12 single crochets when you've completed this one row. Now we're going to put our wire back in, and I'm going to move the wire a little bit, bend it a little bit, just to get our piece near the center. Oops, there we go. Okay, we're going to crochet around our wire. So we're going to put two single crochets into each stitch, but we're going to go around the wire. Okay, so in the first one, put 2 single crochets. You'll have a total of 24 single crochets when you're done. When you've completed your 24 single crochets around your wire, we're going to make another row, but of 1 single crochet in each stitch. So you will again have 24 stitches. Okay, 1 in each stitch. Now I'm going to slip stitch in the first stitch, and that'll be it for this part. Okay, you can cut your yarn here. Now let's connect our pom-pom and our bell. Just gonna string it up on a needle, pom-pom, and then go through the bell. I like this little cap type thing here, so put that on there too. I'm just gonna go through the top. I think like that. Okay, so I'm just going to keep running this white yarn through. Okay, I want to make a knot, so I'm going to go right tight beside where it came out. Just grab one little hair of the yarn and make a knot, and then I'm going to go back in and pull that knot in the middle. Go back up, come out somewhere else. Probably make one more knot somewhere just to, hold it. And then do the same thing with your other strand. Now when you've gone back and forth a few times, give it a little bit of a tug and then cut it off. And then I go back inside and you can't see it anymore. It's all hidden. Okay. Now for the next step. I'm going to start with the white, and I'm going to make a chain of 38. Okay, there are no multiples. It's just an even number of 38. Your chain is going to measure about 12 inches long. Now about 4 inches of that will be the brim around your hat, which will fold up like that. Okay, so for the first row, we're going to make 13 single crochets. So we're going to skip the first chain, go in the next one with a single crochet. The next one, single crochet. So that's 3 single crochets, and we're going to make a total of 13. Now we have our 13 single crochets, and then I'm going to start a single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, put your hook in, grab your yarn, pull it through, and stop. And now we're going to grab our red yarn, and we're going to leave a little bit of a tail, not too crazy long, and we're going to pull our red yarn through those 2 loops on our hook, and that will be our 14th single crochet. Okay, we can pull the tail on our red, tighten it up a bit, and the white. Okay, and we're just going to leave our white yarn right there, don't cut it off. Okay, now we're going to go into the next stitch with a single crochet. Okay, let's pull those ends tight again. Once you get going, you're not really going to have to adjust like that. Okay, in the next chain, we're going to make a double crochet. The next chain will make a single crochet. The next chain will make a double crochet. So we're just alternating right now between single crochets and double crochets. All right, I'll see you at the end of the row. Okay, I have one more stitch. I finished with a double. Now I'm going to go in that last stitch with a single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to turn my work. Now here again for this row we want to alternate, but we want to put a double crochet in the single and a single in the double. Okay, we finished with a single, so I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to put a double crochet into that single. And then a single into the double. A double into the single. Okay, a single into the double, and keep alternating like that with your red yarn. And then I'll meet you just before we get into this white part. Okay, so the last stitch I put in is a double crochet into a single, and that next stitch is a double, so I'll put a single into that one. My next stitch is a single, so I'm going to put a double in that one, but I'm not going to finish the double. Okay, I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull through 2, and then just leave those 2 on my hook, drop my red yarn behind. My white yarn is going to be in front here. I'm picking it up, yarning over, and I'm pulling through those 2 loops. I just pulled the red to tighten it a little bit. Okay, so our next stitch is right here, this white one. We're going to do a back loop only single crochet. Just go into the back loop, yarn over, make your single crochet. Go into your next stitch, make a back loop, single crochet, and we're going to do that all the way to the end of this row with your white yarn, back loop, single crochet, all the way to the end, and I'll see you at the end. I'm at the end of the row and I have 1 stitch left. Put a back loop, single crochet in there, and then chain 1 and turn your work. Now for this white section, we're just going to keep putting back loop single crochets in each stitch That's what we'll be doing for the remainder of the hat. Okay, back loop, single crochet, back loop, single crochet, and I'll meet you close to the red part. All right, I've done 13 back loop single crochets, and then we have this one more. Go on the back loop of that one. That'll be your 14th. You'll always have 14 back loop single crochets, but don't finish that one off with your white. We're going to finish it off with our red. So our red sitting in the front here. We just drop our white behind, grab that red from the front, and pull it through your 2 loops. Grab your white, tighten it up a little. And now, here's our first stitch, the red one. And that was, let me show you a little trick. If we have a big space like this right here, we know we need to put a bigger stitch in there, which will be a double crochet. With these stitches here, we have our stitch that we go into on the top, the 2 loops there, and we have one down here. So we know we're going to put a single crochet in there, in case you forget what you've done, because I do that. All right, so in that stitch, we're going to make a single crochet, and make sure it is the stitch that is right after, like the red right after the white. Make sure you're not going to miss it. Okay, so we'll go in there with a single crochet. Okay, just want to tighten these up a little bit. Okay, so our next stitch, we have that big hole, so we know we need a bigger stitch to go in there, which is a double crochet. And then a single crochet and alternate. Double crochet, single crochet, and a double crochet, single, double, and I'll see you at the end of the row. I'm at the end of the row and I have one more stitch here. So I'll put a single crochet in that one because I put a double crochet in the one before. Okay, single crochet. We'll chain 1, and I'll go through this row with you as well. We're doing the same thing, but I'll just go through it. All right, so we ended on a single crochet, so we need to put a double crochet in this first stitch. Single crochet in the next, double crochet in the next, single crochet in the next, and then I'll meet you when we're close to the white. I'm at the second last red stitch. I did a double crochet. I'll put a single crochet in the next. Then I'm going to put a double crochet in the next red one, but I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to change to the white, drop the red in the back, grab your white, and then pull through those 2 red loops. All right, the next stitch with your white yarn is going to be a back post single crochet. So just tip your work a little bit, see where your white stitch starts. There was your red one. So we'll go in behind the back loop, yarn over, and make our single crochet, our back loop single crochets. So we're going to make a back loop single crochet in every stitch all the way to the end of the row. And this is what you're going to be repeating for your entire hat. I'll come back and let you know how many rows I made. I've made a total of 51 rows, and it measures from here to here between 19 and 20 inches. The brim of the hat measures about 4 inches, just a little under 4 inches, and then the hat part measures 8 inches. I ended my white stitches here, and I left a long tail. We're going to use that to sew up the hat, the white part. And then I've left a long tail on the red as well. We'll use that to sew up the red part. I folded it into the center. Okay, so we're going to sew it together. I have my yarn here that's still attached. I have my needle. I'm going to use what I believe is called a mattress stitch to sew this together. Okay, I'm going to go directly across. Go into that first stitch. And I'm going to go to the next over here. Right there. Line it up. Go into the next one. Grabbing both loops. Over here is the chain. So there's two. I have 2 loops there. And just kind of weave back and forth. Okay, I'll see you at the end. Okay, I have one more here. I'm gonna go under it and go under the other side. All right, so I'll go back in there and I'll make a knot. I'll make another one. Just to make sure, right? Then I'll weave my end in while I'm here. I like to go up and then go back on itself, but skip where it came out of so you don't undo your work. And then go up again. Sometimes I do that. Okay, cut it. Now let's take a look at that seam. I think it looks okay. It's not, I'm not going to pull apart, so there's space, like big spaces. Where is it? Right here. All right, so let's go on to the red part. Now for the red part, I want to hide this white. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit lower than the white. Let's see, I'll go in here in the red. Okay, then I'll come out in the red. Go under those loops. Go into the red. Try and space it out as best you can. It's not that, well, I guess it's okay. Space it out as best as you can. Wow, look. We're hiding the red. I mean the white. Look at that, we're hiding the white. All right, keep going. Okay. I am just going to make a knot. Go back. Okay, go in there. Make a knot. And then, oh, I'll weave that in after. I'll just show you. Let's look at the other side. A moment of truth. Okay. Right here. Okay, that's our white in there. Oop, I see a tiny, tiny bit down here. Just a tiny bit. Maybe I can tuck that in somehow. I'm not sure. But look, cannot see that white. This is the seam here. Awesome. All right, on to the next step. I have a long piece of yarn on my needle. I'm going to start cinching in the hat. So I'm going to go close to the edge here. I'm actually going to make a big space between each. Now I'm going to pull it tight. I'm going to tie these off and sew them in later. Now this end on the bottom, I'm just going to weave that in. The ends on that cinched our hat, we're going to just sew those in as well. And then I have a separate piece of yarn here I'm going to use to attach this peak. No, what is it? A spike? A hat topper? I don't know what to call it. I'm going to connect it on there, and it'll be easy to remove for when you want to wash the hat. Okay, here's my hat topper. I don't know what to call it. And that's the top of my hat there. I'm going to position it on the way I want it. And I'm going to take some straight pins. If you're curious, I made this pin cushion from a pattern that I don't have anymore. It was just a written pattern I found online for free. Okay, so I'm going to pin all the way around, and then I'll show you the next step after that. Okay. All right, now I'm going to turn it around. Now with my long yarn piece here, just going to start weaving in and out. Kind of close to the edge, but not close, like too close to the edge of our piece. I have it on a head right now. I might have to take it off and put my hands under there to do this properly. But what I'm saying is to weave in and out all the way around. Leave a long string on both sides from where you started and where you ended. Okay, long tails. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, I weaved in and out. I got two long ends. I'm going to take these pins out. And we're going to, okay, the pins are out. And here I'm simply going to tie a bow. Now, if you have snaps at home, or next time you're out, you want to grab some snaps, that might work. That might work. But this is all I have. I don't have snaps, and so I just put it like this, and then if you need to remove this, you can just go ahead and do that. If you need to wash the hat. I'm just a little concerned about, I don't know, about the wire inside, maybe rusting. Oh, don't look at my stuff back there. Rusting, or the bell, you know, or maybe the pom-pom might come apart. Yeah, so that's what I was concerned about. So that's why I wanted to do it this way, so it's removable. You can wear your new hat like this, or twist up the topper and wear it like this. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you.